Hi, Wildcats Stress Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. Today is Friday, August 26th, and we are going to talk right now with professional handicapper Brandon Shively, returning guest. We're going to get his take on a couple of the more interesting Week 1 college football games that we've been discussing for a bunch of weeks now. Mike Brenner, the first one, Kansas State-Stanford. Now, when we covered this game a bunch of days ago, I said I liked the under. That was my pick on this one. It was 50. Now it's down to 48 or 48 and a half market wide. I bet it at 50 as well, so I beat that line move. Yep. Stanford is the favorite here, 15.5 or 16. Of course, expectations very high. Kansas State, not exactly sure what we're going to get from them this year. And Stanford, there's some questions heading into the season. They're going to be strong, of course, but some questions. Mike Brenner, I bet the under, and I'm happy with my bet. Do you have anything to say about this game before we hear what
first and foremost, Pigskin is here. High five, Pistol Pete. Okay, I cannot wait for college football to kick off. I'm glad that Brandon's with us. I'm looking forward to doing the whole year with him because we're about cashing tickets. K-State, Stanford, I think it's two programs going different directions. And K-State, there's a lot of old bones in that body and that coaching staff. I don't know, Pete. I don't think this line, I think it might be a little bit low. And my hat's off to you because I remember when you took that under, I liked it at 50. So to see that drop, you know what? You've already won that bet no matter what happens. So I don't know. I'm anxious to hear what Brandon's got to say on this game.
Well, unless it closes higher than 50. Brandon Shively, I like the under. I took it at 50. Now it's 48 or 48 and a half. What's your recommended play on Kansas State-Stanford?
Yeah, that's a good play on the under, Peter.
Well, we don't know where it's going to close. It could close at 52.
When it actually opened up at 54. When they first opened those totals, it opened at 54. So it's a great play. Honestly, I like Kansas State plus the points. The first thing I looked at when I was handicapping this game was Kansas State is 4-0 against the spread their last 4 games as an underdog of 14 or more points. The last time they've been this big of an underdog was in 2012. They beat Oklahoma straight up 24-19. So, Bill Snyder gets his teams ready for big games as a big underdog. The one concern that's kind of limited me here is the Kansas State offensive line. They lost 4 starters. If that offensive line can hold up, I think their offense is going to be better this year. They had quarterback injuries all year long last year, a couple injuries in the secondary as well. So they are healthier this year. I don't think Stanford is just going to score a whole lot of points with a new quarterback. I think it's going to be more of a running game, and they're going to call it conservative. I like Kansas State plus the points here. I think Stanford might win by 14, something like that. One thing I know that Stanford, they were 5-0 against the spread last year as a favorite of 11.5 or more points. So they were good last year covering those double-digit spreads, but now with the new quarterback, I think the offense is going to decline a little bit.
Hey, Brandon, Mike Brenner here. I got to jump in because, Stanford, I know, and it's even if they have to depend on that running game, okay, because of the new quarterback situation. And again, everybody's got the opinions. They're like belly buttons, the bottom line. But I look at a lot of the mental edge stuff. I look at just a lot of dynamics that doesn't play into anybody that usually analytically breaks a game down. All right. Bill Snyder's getting older, buddy. He came out of retirement several years ago, and in 2012, this was a totally different team. All right, the recruiting's gone downhill. All right, you don't have a whole lot of confidence in this team. All right, again, anything could happen, but I really think this is a different year for Bill Snyder. The man is not getting younger. His brain is not getting any sharper. He is now depending on assistants and things of that nature. I'm telling you, I like Stanford early because that offensive line that's rebuilding, all right, they're going to be knocked on their ass early and often, and I'm telling you right now, Stanford's going to show up in this game, guys. Trust me.
What do you think about that, Brandon Shively?
I can't lay that many points with a quarterback I've never seen play before. I can't lay 16.5, 7, 15.5, whatever the number is, more than 2 touchdowns. I haven't seen the quarterback play. Hogan started there for a few years. He led that offense. No, I think it's going to be a subpar offense. It's really more of a defensive game on both sides of the ball. I can't bet the total. The total's already dropped too much. You missed your number there. That's why I like those double digits. Kansas State don't get double. Like I said, they haven't been a double digit underdogs or 14 or more point underdogs since 2012. So I'm taking the points.
All right, well, we will see how this turns out. Brandon Chively liking Kansas State at plus 16. I took the under at 50. I'd still take it at 48.5, but I'd like it less. And Mike Brenner, sounds like you're liking what, Stanford first half or Stanford
Well,
full
one
game?
thing I will say, and again, and this is all done, and we just throw it out there. You said you don't lay 15, and that's too many, but you know what? I will lay 15.5 against an 84-year-old coach that absolutely is losing his mind.
All right.
I can't wait for this one.
Sounds good. Nice debate, guys.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.